Republican Congressman Richard Hanna becomes the first in Congress to officially defect not away from Trump, but to Hillary Clinton. He has announced he will be voting for Hillary Clinton this November. This is a third-term moderate Republican from upstate New York. He made the announcement in an interview published in a Syracuse newspaper. He always said he would never back Trump. This goes all the way back to March of this year. He now has gone further, and he says, you know what, with these attacks that Donald Trump has made on the family of the fallen Muslim soldier Humayun Khan, I'm voting for Hillary Clinton. He wrote this op-ed called "We Should All Be Done with Donald Trump." And he said that the reasons were ample and personal. He finds Trump offensive. He finds him to be a narcissist. Hard to disagree with anything that Mr. Hanna wrote, isn't it?
It's a great decision, but like we just talked about, certainly not one that Republicans that are running for re-election are going to make, regardless of how they feel. But symbolically still important.
Well, both Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan, as we've mentioned, have released these individual statements criticizing specific things Donald Trump has said, most recently, most notably, the attacks on the Khan family. But they haven't actually said we're withdrawing support. Never mind, we are voting for Hillary Clinton. This is really, really a problem. And as you know, Rachel, you've been researching some of the names. George W. Bush and George H.W. Bush are abstaining from supporting Trump. Barbara Bush and Mitt Romney will not be supporting Trump, according to their latest comments. Jeb Bush is on that list. I've spoken about Richard Armitage, a very well-respected former Navy officer and Deputy Secretary of State under George W. Bush, Deputy Secretary of Defense under Ronald Reagan, not supporting Donald Trump. Condi Rice is abstaining. This is a unique circumstance we have here. This is not the normal thing.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because in many elections, there's going to be Republicans who vote for Democrats and Democrats who vote for Republicans.
Voters.
Yes, voters. That's what I meant, voters. But if you look at the polls, the exit polls in 2008, 9% of people said they were Republicans, voted for Obama. And in 2004, for John Kerry, that statistic was about 6%. So it's going to be really interesting to look at the exit polls in this election.
That's interesting. I wonder, we talk about the voting against someone versus voting for. 2004, a lot of the John Kerry candidacy was based on voting against George W. Bush. And 6% of Republicans, as Rachel said, voted for John Kerry. And we know, generally speaking, that that was a failed anti-campaign against George W. Bush. 2008, on the other hand, was not that type of thing. John McCain was not that directly linked with the George W. Bush sort of doctrine. And he had a higher percentage of voters from his own party support Barack Obama. This time around, we have a very disliked Republican candidate, but also a pretty disliked Democratic candidate as well. And I am genuinely curious, what will those numbers be? Will it be 6% of Republicans who ultimately vote Hillary? Will it be 10, 11, 12%? The other difference, guys, though, is Hillary Clinton is also a far more moderate Democrat than we've seen in a long time. That may attract Republicans regardless of the Republican nominee.
It will attract the ones who don't care about issues like Benghazi and emails, things of that sort. If they are concerned with actual Republican values and what matters, economic stuff, they should have no problem voting for Hillary Clinton.
You would think, yeah. After the break, I will interview Matthew Schmid. What is going on with the bees, and what can we do, and why does it matter?